Hello and welcome to the Real Estate Regroup Show. I am your host, LJ Walker, a real estate investor helping you realize your dreams of owning a home or investing in one. A question that is coming up again and again and again is, should we buy a home now? Well, for right now, on August 6, 2022, I say it depends on what type of home are you buying. Right now, we're really heading into a recession and inflation has already hit. Our government has said we're not in a recession, but we are. They're just playing on words, if you will. Companies, many of them, have already started laying people off again, right? So, here's the thing. When I say it depends on what type of home you're buying, I mean the following. Are you buying a home for your primary residence, where you're going to actually live? Or are you buying the home as an investment? Well, if you are buying a home for primary residence, I don't think that now is the best time to buy. Because now you still have homes whose prices are inflated in most areas of the United States, and the feds have increased the interest rate. I think it is best to wait a little while for prices to come down. They're not going to go down in every single city and in every single area, of course, but they will go down eventually. You see, supply has not met demand at this particular point in time. Okay. Next, are you going to buy it as an investment? If you are going to buy a house as an investment, it depends on how you are going to buy that particular investment. If you plan to do it by going the regular real estate retail route, by going to a realtor or a real estate agent, I would say, again, no. Now would not be a good time to buy. However, if you are going to buy the property in another way, then I will say yes. For example, let's say you do for sale by owner. Some owners will inflate their prices, but then you have some owners who are desperate. You have people who have inherited property and they don't know what to do with it. Those are the people that you want to target. But then you have other people who just want to see how much their home is going to sell for. Those are not the people that you want to buy a house from. Okay? Always do your comparison and see what other homes in that area cost before you go into any deal with an owner. All right? Some owners are in trouble and they will do what is called a subject to. You have to make sure that there is no due on sale clause in their mortgage. All right? So doing a subject to is risky. All real estate investments are risky, but there's that risk in subject to that does not exist in other real estate niches and transactions. So as long as you check that out and everything is okay, subject to may be your next best bet. Subject to also works the best when it comes to buying during a recession and buying during inflation. The next way to buy a property is by doing a tax lien or tax deed, depending on what state you are in. Tax liens and tax deeds tend to be a lot cheaper, a lot less than when you buy a complete house the regular way from a realtor. But know this, typically with tax liens and tax deeds, there's normally a lot of maintenance that you will have to perform. It's also best to have someone go and look at the property, because not all tax liens and tax deeds are on houses. Sometimes it's on land. And even with houses, sometimes the plot of land might be the plot of land right in front of the house and not the land that includes the house itself. So this is why you have to do your research, and you have to contact the tax assessor's office to make sure you're getting the property that you want. All right. The next way is through foreclosure. Right now, it's a little slow, but foreclosures are definitely increasing. The reason why it's slow as far as getting a foreclosure is because due to 2020, there was a backup on court cases when it came to foreclosing on property. So this is why you can get a great deal through foreclosure, but it will take some time. There was a period when the foreclosure list was low, but I'm seeing that the foreclosure lists are gaining momentum, and it's growing higher and higher and higher. So again, with foreclosure, a lot of times you may have to do maintenance. Why? Because the homeowners are angry that they lost their home, and what they'll do is they'll try and tear up the home. That's why you want to do as much research before you actually buy, so that you put in the proper price. Next, you have probate. Probate was definitely on the rise. There is a backup because you do have a lot of people who have died from COVID-19, who have died from the other viruses that spurred off from COVID-19 as well. So probate courts are also backed up at this particular point in time. So that's another good entry point where you can get properties at a good discount. And then the next way is to buy mortgage notes, particularly non-performing mortgage notes. Now, buying the mortgage note, that will be easy. Waiting for you to actually get the property for that note, that may not necessarily be easy. Again, the courts are backed up. So what normally in some states would take 3 months, 6 months, a year, may now draw out to 3 years and 6 years because of the great backlog. And not only because of the great backlog, but because there are so many people who have left their jobs. So many lawyers, believe it or not, there are a lot of lawyers who have decided that they don't want to be practicing law anymore. Some of them don't want to work for the firm that they have been working for how many years? 8, 9 years. Because after 8 or 9 years, you're normally supposed to make partner. And a lot of them who have not made partner after that period of time, instead of, let's say, moving to another law firm, some of them have decided to just work for themselves as a lawyer. And then you have another large number of lawyers who decided, you know what, I don't want to do law, period. I want to do something else. Okay, so that's another reason why there's this big backlog. So Again, let me circle back to the original question. Should you buy a home? Primary residence? Absolutely no. Investment? If it's retail? Absolutely no. If it's the other discounted way of buying investment property, absolutely yes. Okay? So that's my answer as far as should you buy a home right now in 2022. Okay? So guys, I hope the information that I've shared with you will help you make smart financial moves. Remember, please share this, subscribe to the channel on YouTube, pass this along to your friends, because each one reach one, teach one. Bye for now. Until next time, have a good night.